Runde's puffins attract visitors from all over the world, but the Sunnmøre Islands have so much more to offer. From pristine beaches and World War II fortifications to Viking history and cutting-edge shipbuilding. Explore the hidden gems of Hareidlandet, Gurskøy and Herøy. Discover why this is a unique region to explore. Hareidlandet is the largest island. If you're coming from Ålesund, you can take the ferry to Hareid. This is an important ferry that runs 24 hours a day. You will meet many commuters who use this ferry. The express boat from Ulsteinvik airport also arrives here. Just south of the town of Hareid is Hjørungavåg. Here you will find the national monument to the Battle of Hjørungavåg. At the end of the 10th century, there was a huge battle between the local Vikings led by Jarl Håkon and a fleet of Danish Vikings. Unfortunately, there aren't many sources about this battle, so it's still vague when exactly it happened. If you drive north from Hareid, the first place you will pass is Ishavsmuseet, the Arctic Ocean Museum in Brandal. Here you can visit the seal hunter Årverk and learn the story of the men who worked on it. The museum is open during the summer. Continue north to Kvitneset. You can either walk from Brandal or drive along the narrow gravel road to the corner of the island. At Kvitneset, there are ruins of a fort constructed by the Germans during the Second World War. The fortifications were built by local people using forced labor. You can also see Ålesund from here. Heading inland, you can come to Snipsørvatn Lake. There is a large nature reserve around the lake and between the lake and Hareid. The reserve is also a popular hiking area for the locals. There is also the small lake Grimstadvatnet. On the other side of Hareidlandet is Ulsteinvik, which is the main center of the island. It's a small town famous for its shipyards. Many express boats and Hurtigruten ships were built here. As a result, there are also mechanical industries in the area. The Norwegian TV series Heimebane is set and filmed in Ulsteinvik and tells the story of a football club in the top men's league that gets a female coach. To the north of Ulsteinvik lies the hamlet of Flø. There are a few houses and a small harbor. Tourists come here to go fishing. On a previous trip, we hired a boat here. We quickly learned that the open sea is no place for small boats. We've seen the northern lights from here, but that's rather exceptional, as it happens maybe once every 2 months. From Ulsteinvik, follow Road 61. There is also a road that leads to Ørsta and Volda. This road goes through the Eiksundtunnelen. From 2008 until 2020, it was the world's deepest underwater road tunnel, until the Ryfast tunnel in Stavanger was opened. It goes straight down at an 8% gradient to a depth of 287 meters. Back on Road 61. There is a bridge from Hareidlandet to Gurskøy, the next largest island. There is not much to see on Gurskøy, apart from a few hikes to some viewpoints. At the end of Road 61, there are 2 ferries that take you back to the mainland. But what really interests us here is Herøy. The municipality consists of many small islands, one of which Runde is the most famous. Immediately after leaving Gurskøy, you arrive on Nerlandsøya. At the end of the island, you will find Herøy Kystmuseet. The small museum tells the story of the local history. It's open during the summer season. The rest of the year you can only visit the museum by appointment. To get to Runde, follow the signs to Fosnavåg and then Runde. There are several bridges between the islands, but the most spectacular is the one to Runde, where the road is on a dam in the middle of the sea. Runde is best known for its bird cliffs, home to between 500 and 700,000 birds. Along with various species of gulls, auk and cormorants, puffins make up the largest population. Puffins are medium-sized birds with black and white plumage. Their distinctive features are their red, orange and yellow beaks. These are the birds that people come to see on Runde. There are other places in Norway where you can see them, such as Bleik and Vesterålen, but the easiest place to see them is here in Runde. They come to Runde between April and July to breed. To do this, they build a burrow on the side of the cliff where they raise their young. Puffins are colonial breeders, so many couples will have their burrows next to each other. So if you see one, it won't be long before the next one appears. They spend the rest of the year on the open sea. If you want to see puffins, there's a good spot on the west coast of Runde. Leave your car in the car park after the last tunnel. Then follow the path up the hill until you reach the cliff. Follow the cliff and eventually you will find an improvised ladder. Use it to get to a small spot in the middle of the puffin colony. Keep quiet and the bird will come out of its burrow and maybe fly over your head. It takes about 45 minutes to reach the viewpoint, which is why this walk receives the blue EC label. We also spoke to the owner of Gurskøy camping, Knut Gurskøy. He has run the campsite for almost 50 years. So he has now seen how tourism has developed, and it has not been for the best. Before the bridge was built, many people lived on Runde, but since then many have moved away. Until the mid-2010s, most tourists who came to Runde were interested in birdwatching. On our first visit in 2009, most of the people who went to the viewpoint had cameras with huge lenses. But social media has put Runde on the radar of many other tourists who want to see the puffins. Things got really bad in 2024. Although most people follow the rules and try not to disturb the birds, there are still those who party on the edge of the bird cliff, or the family who had collected a bucket of baby birds. Knut has been campaigning for years to reduce the number of tourists, as his island and its nature are more important to him than a quick buck. The number of tourists per square kilometer during the season is higher than on Lofoten, and that's not sustainable.
Yes.
The national broadcaster NRK had an article about the development of bird populations and species since the 1960s. They had a sound clip, and back then it was so loud you couldn't hear your own words. Halfway between the bridge and Gurskøy is Runde Miljøsenter. This is a small museum where you can learn about Runde and the bird cliffs. Nearby is the harbour from where the sightseeing boat departs. Another island is Nerlandsøya, which can be reached over a bridge from Fosnavåg. The most famous place there is Mulevika. This is a small bay with a white sandy beach. As such, it is a popular place to swim, except on the day we were there. There are also some hiking trails in the area, for example to Muletua. From there you have a great view over the sea. The last place on our journey is Fosnavåg. This is the main town on Herøy. Although at first glance it looks like many small coastal towns in Norway, there is a lot going on here. There is a large natural harbour, so it has become a centre for fishing and shipping. In 2002, Fosnavåg was granted town status, which means that shipping companies can register Fosnavåg as their home port. Several companies have their headquarters here, such as Hareidlandet Kystrute, which operates ships along the Norwegian coast. There is even a fashion label in Fosnavåg called Coco Norway. As a result, the municipality offers things you would not normally find in such a remote place, such as a concert hall, which is in the same building as the Thon Hotel, and a very large water park, Sunnmøre. Apparently, it's so nice that people from Ålesund come to enjoy it. Fosnavåg also played an important role in the film Burning 2, Norway's answer to the Fast and Furious movies. So that's it. So, if you're planning to visit Runde, don't forget that there's a lot more to see than puffins. And if you're traveling, we have lots of other videos like the one above. And if you haven't already seen it, you might also be interested in the one below.